how much is it going to hurt? Because if you get like a very thin one, it's like a whip. If you get a thick one, you're like,
It's a
oh,
club.
it's like, yeah, it's a club or a cane. So no matter what switch you're picking, you're gonna get hit with it anyways, and it's gonna hurt. It's already messed up.
Now, I have heard, from the lore that if you got a Switch that was not the right size, you would be sent back out to get another one.
Yes.
And that, I can't imagine what that must feel like. The psychological, torture of, oh wait, I got the wrong size.
Yeah. How it ends up going is like if you got one that was the wrong size or one that they did not feel that was appropriate, they would test it out on you first.
Oh God.
They're like, nah, this is not going to work. Give me a bigger one or a longer one. So it wasn't pleasant. But if switches were not available at the time, or like if you were somewhere where like a tree was, don't worry about it. A tree wasn't present where you can actually just get a switch. A belt would come in handy, and if they folded it, that was nice, but sometimes they would just be in the heat of the moment and just still use it as a whip. And guess what? Some of the times they forget which end they're holding.
Oh no.
So
Hitting with the buckle, that's too much.
oh no, you were part like, what are you gonna do? Call child services? They're like, yeah, call child services, see what happens.
Timeout. That's the buckle end.
No timeouts. You can't.
We never had the belt or never had to cut a switch, but when we did get to the stage wherein a whipping was appropriate, my mom had the wooden spoon. That fucking thing hurt. Oh man, it's like you just say like the wooden spoon, not just any a wooden. It was the wooden spoon. Like just that one concept. Like I still twitch and tense up every time I think of it. Thanks, Mom.
And welcome to the Rubber Duck Syndicate.
We're talking about corporal punishment and child rearing.
Yes. Just past trauma that everyone has to deal with at some point. Because I think everyone has to maybe just a teensy little bit of trauma in their life.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't, then you were born rich. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The idea of what is appropriate for discipline has evolved along with the rest of society. So, and some people will say, to some degree, a tone-deaf thought about kids aren't getting whooped enough or things like that. And I feel like that's missing a point, but I'm not sure if it's missing the point.
Oh, let's see. Because, I'm not saying I'm going to be devil's advocate, but, there's some kids that probably are not getting disciplined or whooped enough. There's sometimes where they're trying to take the different approach. So they're like, okay, I was raised, getting whooping or getting hit. I don't want that for my kids. And then they have kids that are completely badass or off the rails or just fucking crazy for whatever reason. And they're like, I don't know how to discipline my kids. It's like, have you tried beating them?
Well, that's the thing. I think the idea of discipline for kids is caught up in the whole idea of corporal punishment, physical violence. Mm-hmm. And yeah, definitely kids, pretty much all kids need some kind of discipline, need some stimulus in a response to unacceptable behavior, so that they come to associate that. And I'm starting to sound like Pavlov or somebody right now. I mean, we don't want to boil it down to we shock the kid with an electric cattle prod every time he does something wrong.
I want to.
That's bad. Oh, that is objectively bad.
Whatever. Are they going to do it again? Nope.
Yeah, but are they going to do anything again after that? I mean, that's the thing. The idea of, is there an acceptable amount of pain or violence to adjust behavior in a kid, and where is that line? A lot of people say that you should never ever use violence on a kid ever. There's always some other way, but some of those people have never actually talked to an actual child.
Yeah, for more than for more than an hour or something like that. They're like, oh, you shouldn't hit your kid. You shouldn't do this. I raised my kid. It's like, okay, I'm glad that you were able to raise your kid in such a way that like you were able to do that, or in such an environment that you were able to do so where you're like, oh, I gave my kid free will. They were able to do this. They were able to express like, okay, I'm cool. Like I'm glad that you were like very woo woo about it. I'm not knocking you as a parent, but there are situations or settings where you can't do that. You don't have the freedom to like let your kid have free will. You're like, okay, it's mother, dad, and then two kids, and they live in a 2 bedroom apartment. They don't have free will to just be out there and like kids like run wild and yell everywhere. They're like, no, we live in this apartment setting. We have a little playground right in the middle. Maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. Who knows?
So that's the thing, if and I'm not even going to pretend like I know the objective right answer here because one thing we should also remark that neither one of us has kids
that we know of.
Pretty sure I don't have kids. In fact, I've had my home inspected and sprayed for babies.
Well, look, I'm talking about me. I might have a kid out there.
That would be objectively hilarious.
Hey, I did my, like I said, as we discussed before, I am not a gold star gay. So, I did get all up in there at some point.
Some little O wandering around somewhere.
Well, at this point, they would probably be a teenager if that happened.
Oh,
but,
so sullen, angsty O.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, no, my dad. Fuck you. I'm like, well, I don't like you either. I'm already a deadbeat dad to somebody I don't know.
Wow, yeah, this episode got off to a real dark start, didn't it?
It's life. Life is somewhat dark sometimes, so.
So
I doubt that I have a kid out there. So, but
yeah, good luck, parents. There might or might not be some scientifically measurable amount of disciplinary violence that is appropriate for a kid. But if you don't get that just right, either your kid will grow up and feel abused and resentful, or your kid will grow up desperately needing a whooping.
Yeah, because there are some adults out there that I'm like, you did not get spanked enough or disciplined enough as a child, and now you're just a complete asshole all the time.
Yeah, we are going to lose some subscribers with this episode.
Well, you know why? Because they're assholes because they didn't get disciplined. It's their fault. I'm blaming them.
I feel like there's a lesson here.
Hey, we won't learn it because guess what? We're not getting disciplined by our parents. Well, I'm not because mine are dead, so. Hey.
My parents are probably going to watch this.
And they're going to make you get a Switch. And they're like, we don't
No. I told you, the wooden spoon.
Well, apparently wooden spoon's not working. They're like, no, go get a Switch.
It's not that the wooden spoon wasn't working. It's that I'm bigger than my mother now. There's a logistical problem with beating my ass.
Well, it's just more.
I probably steadily deserve a whooping for most of my life, but it just it's like that one day when my older brother realized that I had grown bigger than him. Mm-hmm. This is a day that is burned into my memory as good day.
Please tell me about it.
I just remember because he was a standard older brother for most of my childhood, where he delighted in tormenting me.
Yes.
And without slamming him directly, I will say that my reactions were probably like finding candy for him. Like I did not take any of it very well. I blew up. I overreacted. I was an angry little kid.
Gotcha.
And so I was easily giving him exactly the response that he wanted when he was trying to mess with me. But then we were out on the lawn one day. And he tried to pick me up and like throw me over his shoulder, and it didn't work. And then I picked him up and dropped him on the ground, and that was the end of that.
So it's a realization for both of you.
Yeah, it's like suddenly the power dynamic has shifted.
Like he's like, yeah, oh.
He's like, I just wasn't going anymore.
I could just imagine like him just going like, oh. Oh, and then like he gives you that look, and you're giving him that look. You're like, hurrah!
Yeah.
And then you're just like standing over him, like,
Yeah,
I'm the power.
That was a nice day for me.
Yeah, and with my brothers, like I still like the height of most of them. My older brother, number three,
Who was on our podcast earlier?
yes, he's a bit taller than like all our other siblings, but of course, like he was like since he knew that he would like well, not essentially bully, but he's like, yeah, I can push people around if I want to. I don't think there was ever a moment where it was like he knew there was like a power shift because like I'm all of 5'8". I guess somebody can test that. So there's that. Well,
I don't have my tape measure on me.
no, it's fine. So there is a guy out there that tests the height of people like via video, and it's fantastic how he does it because like I'm not sure what kind of scientist or
Does
like
he use like parallax measurements and things like that?
like he'll find the dimensions of like something. So let me do this. I'm walking off. I'm coming back. So I have this.
Is that a Guitar Hero controller?
Yes, from particularly from Rock Band.
Rock
So
Band.
if they want to test one out, he can figure out like how big or small this is. He'll find the exact measurements of this thing.
Well, he can only calculate the measurements of your torso and up because
Yeah,
your,
there have not been a full
Yeah.
body size.
Yeah, that's on our OnlyFans, folks.
Which is
One of these days, we're actually going to have an OnlyFans. It's going to be us holding pictures of ducks, or pictures of us holding ducks.
that's what we're actually going to have.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. Like no one can be actually mad about it because we're going to say in the description, it's like our OnlyFans are us holding various ducks. So it's going to be
It's going to be solicited duck pics only.
yes, I love it because we're going to hold various ducks. So it's going to be rubber ducks, wooden mallard ducks, or like just various types of ducks. And we're going to just be holding them in different positions. And it's not even going to be sexual. We're going to just be holding them like,
I mean, can you actually hold the duck and have it not be sexual?
I guess that'd be kind of hard to do. we're going to
No,
find out.
we're ending this joke now.
No, we're not. Because we're going to... No, don't. You can't hit the brakes. We have to go full bore until we crash.
I
off the
regret
cliff.
starting this joke.
Too bad. You regret starting this podcast. We're already in it.
So much.
You can't stop at this point. It's too late. No, we're done with it anyways. Bye.
Oh, good. Speaking of abrupt segues, what else shall we talk about? Because I got nothing.
Well, that's a great thing about it. Like when we start doing this podcast, we have really nothing in mind that we're actually going to discuss. We just kind of
No, folks. This podcast takes a lot of effort and planning. Honest. You should be really impressed by what we do here.
The only planning we actually really do on here is when we set up to record. We know that date. We know that we know the day. We know the roughly the time that we're going to do it. But other than that, we don't have a topic of discussion that we have. We just kind of go free will at it and just have my goal most of the time with this is to try to make you uncomfortably laugh.
Talking about me or the audience?
Well, if I can do that for you, the audience will fall asleep. Our ducklings will fall asleep because they'll be like, oh, that is uncomfortably hilarious. I'm not sure if I should laugh or not. And then you can. You're free to do that. So, yeah, if you did not laugh about the slavery thing last time, you are free to do it now.
Yes.
Have fun.
Yes, go ahead and laugh. But not at slavery. At me for walking into that damn joke last time.
It was, like I said, it wasn't even intentional. It was just how everything kind of got set up and how it went just landed perfectly. It was...
Yeah, but I also want credit for my pride joke over the weekend. Yeah, so happened to wander through the Charlotte Pride Festival with my compatriot here. And I remarked to him that I had been to several of these Pride events in the past, and I still have not seen one lion. And I think that joke is amazing.
No, you didn't let it settle in. You had to let it settle in. No, you just kind
No,
of...
I don't think there's anything really saving it, because I think that joke is amazing, but I'm pretty sure nobody else does.
Well, they might. They possibly really could, because they'd be like, hey, our straight ally came up with this joke, and they'd be like, yeah, we probably heard this for the last... well, I can't say when Pride really started, but, obviously during the Stonewall, so there's that's 50 plus years at this point now. So...
Yeah, I'm sure at least one person has made the lion pride joke.
Yeah.
Before. Yeah, I'm not pretending that that's an original concept.
Yeah, well, there's no...
It is the logical, inevitable conclusion of, the two related names.
Yeah, I know, coming together. Yeah, and somebody probably made that joke, obviously, when they were there during Pride, this one, or the last, 10 years I've been going to it. But still, nonetheless, where I was not expecting it, and it just kind of showed up, and I'm like, oh, this hurts my soul just a little bit.
And really, that's what we go for. It's, not so much laughter or mirth, but that realization that you could have gone your whole life without hearing that joke.
Yeah.
And now that option is gone.
It has been taken away from you. Kind of like when Christmas comes around and everyone actively tries to do the voiding of the last Christmas song. And, some people last the entire season without hearing it. And then some people, they're like, yeah, I heard it on, and they'll mark the date. They're like, yeah, I heard it on the day after Thanksgiving.
I don't put any particular effort into trying to avoid that song. Like, I will not, religiously avoid the radio stations that are playing, Christmas music at the point, because they start in November now.
Mid-November. I'm surprised they haven't started right now. It is, the 17th or 18th?
It is August 19th.
Okay, it is August 19th.
I did see they're, in fact, putting up Halloween decorations in CVS already.
That's what I was about to mention. So, as of the time of this recording, it is August 19th. There are places already putting up Halloween decorations. We still have another 2.5 months before Halloween even exists. I was like, okay.
No, I guess, it's the end of the 10th month, so, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the end of October. Okay, I understand that, Halloween is people's jams. I understand it. There's a lot of different holidays that are their jams and they love it. Halloween is okay, celebrate all of October. Fantastic. Go ahead and do it.
Flag Day for the win. I couldn't even tell you when Flag Day is. I know it's a thing, though.
It is. But I would say, if you want to have, Halloween decorations, in store, mid-November, mid-September is appropriate time. You're like, oh, yeah, let's start putting out stuff September 15th, September 20th, so people can get ready in the beginning of October and start putting stuff up there no, we need to get ready now.
It's how much preparation do you need for certain holidays? Christmas is a huge consumer holiday, so everybody does plan for shopping. Well, everybody that can afford anything, which this year is probably not many people.
It's going to be a lot less.
Yeah. But that is some things that you do need to prepare for logistics, especially because it's also one of the big travel holidays. Thanksgiving and Christmas are the biggest travel holidays of the year. Mm-hmm. So doing that stuff early makes marginally more sense. But Valentine's Day and Halloween, you can do whatever you're gonna do for Valentine's Day or Halloween without decorations.
True.
It's better with the decorations,
Like,
but it's not like a requirement. You know, you don't need advance notice. You can make up some sort of event, or you can at least put the effort in to surprise your loved ones for Halloween, of course.
Yeah.
But
Surprise!
you only need like maybe 24 hours notice to have it be really good. If you don't suck.
True. But there are some people that really go all out for Halloween. And I really do appreciate them because they put so much time and effort into making their house spooky, scary, all the different decorations. I fucking is on board with that.
Yeah, I love that. But unfortunately, there's like no kids that come to the house anymore.
Yeah.
Actual trick-or-treating is falling by the wayside. Have you ever heard of trunk-or-treating? That is the saddest thing I have ever heard of. It's parents getting together in a parking lot and having all the cars backed up with the trunks open, and the kids, instead of going to houses and trick-or-treating and interacting with their neighbors, because your neighbors might be homicidal maniacs putting razor blades in apples.
Which has proven not to actually really happen.
None of that has ever happened.
No.
They take the kids around from trunk to trunk in a parking lot.
Which is like I understand why they do it. They're like, oh, it's a easy way to keep an eye on my kid or kids. It's easy enough for like me not to go around to all different neighborhoods. I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I understand kid safety, blah blah blah. I'm not glossing over that fact. Keep your kids safe. But what was also exciting about trick and treating as a kid was, getting your costume ready to whatever it is, planning the route out with your friends. You're like, okay, here we're gonna start here. We're gonna go here. Then we're gonna go through this neighborhood with the big houses because they had the
full-size candy bars.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone watching remembers that one house that had full-size candy bars.
And you know which house, you knew what house it was because you couldn't go back twice because they actually remembered. They're like, you were here. Like, no, get out of here. Or like if you came at like a certain time, they're like, oh, it's like 8:30, and like, oh, we're gonna run out. Here's some extra Reese's. Go for it. But like you will plan out that route, get with your friends. You start as early as you possibly think you could, which for me was usually like around like 6 o'clock, because it will start getting like dusk, and then like we start going from there. But then you go until like when you think like most of the lights are going to be out, you're like, okay, that would be like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then you get home, you're like, all right, how much candy I got? What do I got in here? My family did pillow sacks. We didn't do like the little containers like that. No, we had pillow sacks for our trick or treating. And we'd come back and honestly, it would be kind of heavy. It would be at least anywhere from like 7 to 10 pounds of candy we would come back with, like every time.
Oh, is that collectively?
No, individually.
Each. Okay. Yeah.
No, so if it was like a standard pillow sack that was, like this, if I like held it and kind of did this like this to like right here would be full of candy. So it'd be heavy as fuck.
Yeah, I had the little jack-o'-lantern shaped bucket when I was a kid, but rapidly graduated to pillowcases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so planning all that out and doing that as a kid, and then, just having the one adult with us, because they're like, okay, I'm going to be one parent's going to be a chaperone, or like an older person be like, yeah, I'm going to be the parent for these 10 kids that are like out. But we'll just all be in a group going to place and just going buck wild and like having so much fun.
Going what wild? That's my wild.
Yes. Damn it. And going from place to place and just being so amped about it. But now, like the trunk or treat thing, you're like, oh, everyone made their round to the trunks. That took 20 minutes. You can't do a second round because they're like, oh, we gotta save candy for the other kids. You're like, okay, it's great.
At that point, you might as well just bring the candy to the kids.
True.
I mean, what is the point? I mean, the trick-or-treating thing, there's no tricking involved anymore. Because now, I will say tricking can get out of hand because, as mentioned before, kids can be undisciplined little monsters.
Yes.
But that's I don't know. There seems it seems to me that there ought to be I guess a different baseline for protective parenting, because there's helicopter parenting, which a lot of people are guilty of, where they just never let the kid out of their sight and they structure every moment of the kid's life. And then there's free range parenting, which I actually like the idea of, where it's more like people like our generation and beyond. We grew up we went outside to play, and as long as we knew when to be back, that was cool. We figured out boundaries and things that we weren't supposed to do, but we, for the most part, had the run of the neighborhood or whatever, as long as we, were back in time for dinner.
Yes. But like what's sad is like we, as it is right now, our house says like you can't really do that anymore. You can, but only to a certain extent. Like, so I'm pretty sure that I can't speak for your experience, but I can just talk to you about it. There might have been an area that was undeveloped. It might have just been like pathways and woods, things you can go to explore as a kid. You're like, oh, hey, we're all going to this part of this lot. We're all going to go walk through this like a little sports park. We're going to explore. We're going to do this. You were actually able to go outside and explore something. Now everything is like essentially overdeveloped, and you can't. There's not.
You're on somebody else's property every time.
Yeah, you're on someone else's property every time. Like you can't go where you're like, oh, this is like, no, that's gonna be more houses. Like, oh, I can go. Nope, that's gonna be more like high rise apartments. Everything is going to be lost. So you're like, okay, well, we can just go up and down the street, on our bikes and do that, or go to someone else's house. But then people like, I guess like parents or adults will be like, oh, we don't want all those kids over here, and then like it's just getting pushed off everywhere. So now where are the kids supposed to go? You have to kind of think about that.
Clearly, we're going to form gangs.
Yeah, they're going to form gangs. Well, they are already doing that, but it's essentially online. So, they're forming gangs, I guess, in like Roblox and Minecraft and Fortnite and bullshit like that. They got their digital gangs.
Which, I mean, not to knock the social benefits of online community.
Mm-hmm. No, but, not at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, little ducklings out there. Yeah. We see you.
Yeah. Now, I remember it's still there. I haven't explored it since I, basically hit my growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
But
and took over your brother. You're like,
yeah. But and there's a park not far from my house. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of the park, there's a creek that runs through part of it. And then on one end of the creek is a storm drain. This is this huge concrete tunnel, like probably 4 feet in diameter.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, it was pretty easy to hunch over and get through there. And all the neighborhood kids at one point crawled down that drain and into the drainage box. Is in the middle of this field. So there's this one like concrete slab in the middle of a field. Out, I don't know why it's there, but you can poke up and it's just like a storm drain, like Pennywise the clown would poke out. But it's in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
And so there's never anything awful going on there. Although we did go in there a couple times, and apparently some bigger kids had gone in there because there were some beer bottles left over.
Of course.
So yeah, apparently that was the cool place for the hooligans to drink.
Oh,
but I never knew who any of the hooligans were because I wasn't that cool of a kid.
Well, yeah, it was, at that point, like, they knew about it because they were also young kids, too. So they're like, we need to go somewhere. Like, oh, hey, you remember that storm drain? Let's go there and drink these beers that we bought for $30 for this 6-pack.
Or, someone might have nicked them from their dad or something like that, but...
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore now. Probably could. Hey, kids, are you stealing beers and alcohol from your parents?
Yeah, surely we have a young audience that could respond to this conversation.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're like, hey, we want to watch some 40-something-year-old dudes talk about our childhood. While they both have...
Our childhood was better than yours, but what do you think of it?
We're talking about their childhood as we are childless adults.
Okay, I'm looking at the monitor now, and I am going to call an audible because I look visibly like I'm about to die because of the heat in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which you should have probably noticed before, because I can see this dark ring around my shirt here. So I am betting that this is going to be one of those episodes that I feel ashamed to have uploaded.
It's going to happen.
But nevertheless, we will carry on.
We will carry on. So we'll see you next time then.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good night. Or if it's the middle of the day, do that too.
Have whatever you want to.